Thank you very much.
So are we just gonna continue on this going by phone?
Give me 1 minute. I had to restart everything, so just give me 1 second.
I still have Ryan on the phone.
I'm not gonna wait. We're trying to get a meeting started in Dave.
It's okay.
Ryan, when that was restarting the Zoom meeting. It's not ready to come up yet.
We all realize that national championship game. The 7th, probably.
We should be done.
Okay, I hope so.
That's Dave.
I
Dave needs a re-admit.
Hey, Dave, how about my name and you try again on your computer? Okay, and if it doesn't work, I'll call you back.
You should be on Zoom now. I'm gonna hang up.
Frustrating.
Ryan, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I'm hanging up on you.
Hello, Dave. Dave, can you hear us?
Yeah, that should be good now.
Oh,
How about you, Dave?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
All right, well, we're not starting over at the beginning, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I heard everything.
You know, I'm gonna start thinking there's some kind of conspiracy over it. I'll get over it. The rest are good to go. Okay, we're on to agenda item number 4, consent agenda. Before we go any further, Becky, is there anything you need to add or comment on for the consent agenda?
No, I think everything's pretty straightforward.
Okay, so then I would need a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
I'll second.
I was gonna say, you're the only one who can second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Lynette, would you care to take a vote?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed. What do we want to roll now? Regular agenda items. First, we have public comments, petitions, memorials. That's all. There you go. Would you like to come up?
Hello, hi, I'm Denise Bellman, Administrator, Maple Heights Nursing and Rehabilitative Center. And we had an unfortunate event happen on December 23rd. We had a flood where our 100 hall was basically totally flooded except 4 rooms. And what happened in our boiler room, one of the fire sprinklers froze, even though we had a heater in there, it just couldn't keep up with, you know, the temperature and wind chills. So anyway, I'm here to request, since we had a large amount of the water that we lost, that perhaps you waive the sewer fees for the month affected, which would be the net December, correct? Or January?
It'll be for,
January's bill. but
yes,
that
it'll be
day-
February's bill.
February's bill.
Yeah.
She said we normally average about 23 cubic 23,000 cubic feet of water, and we had like 25,000 in 3 weeks. So it's about a week's worth of water that went out.
From what I understand though, surprisingly enough, it wasn't over what the monthly average is, correct?
But that's only 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, we had about what the monthly average is. So if it equals out, it'll be like a week's worth of water that would have escaped.
I will not know for sure until the reading comes in at the end of the week. But my calculation is the average is 25,633 and is used to date 23,030. So still right underneath the average at the moment.
Right, but we've got another week. to
Correct.
have.
And that's why I won't know for sure until the reading comes in for the cycle billing.
So it looks like you may be 2 weeks too early. So
She asked me to come tonight.
that's okay.
I mean, I guess you either approve it. I mean, does it matter how much water we use, whether you're gonna approve it or not, or?
Well, if you happen to come in under the average, then it's a moot point.
Right.
But if it's a significant difference in absolutely we'll still, we'll consider and the commission will talk about it, but
Okay.
why don't we get that final reading,
Mhm.
just to be sure, and then we
Okay.
can go from there.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
yeah, so you'll just let me know if it's higher.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We will. Thanks, Denise. Okay, item B, that there was a request from the Brown County Free Fair Association. We've done this, I don't even know how many years, to donate a pool pass, and Stacy's waving at me, so I'm assuming that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So can I get a motion for that? Yes, can I get a motion to donate a pool pass for the Brown County Free Fair Association fundraiser?
I'll make that motion.
Been moved and seconded to approve the motion to donate a pool pass donation. Can we call for a vote, please?
All in favor?
Aye.
Becky, who is that? Who
Brown County Free Fair Association.
was there
Name?
a person in charge?
Oh, sorry, Stephanie. I'm sorry to let you talk. You want to say anything?
I mean, you already know, like, yeah, the spotlight auction for the, sorry, I'm
Okay.
the office for Metro.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, if you need anything.
So not,
Yeah,
Charlotte.
if you'd like to go ahead and come up to the microphone, because I'd hate for you not to have that opportunity. If you want to come up here, just tell us again, so people know, plus it's a little plug for your spotlight.
Okay, yeah, so, for the spotlight auction for the Brown County Free Fair Association, the association provides, the Brown County Fair free of cost, and so we're asking for donations for our auction, that we sell off on the KNZ radio. And so we were hoping to have a donation from the city of Hiawatha to support the arts.
And it's a fabulous thing to donate to, so.
and your name was.
Oh, Maria's our tree.
Perfect. You can stop by the Fisher Center anytime this week.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, so it's been moved in second. Do I call for a vote, please?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed. Item C, request from Aaron Petra. I'm gonna say, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go through your last name.
Everybody does, fine.
You're used to it, so. Is that going to come up?
Oh, sure. Aaron Peterzak.
Peter's Act, thank you.
I received a notice on a vehicle that's in our back driveway. The sticker is showing expired because I have misplaced the current sticker, but
Okay,
it is registered, insured, runs. It just is drafty, so I haven't driven it this winter.
okay. I understand that. We did have it running. We do see that everything's up to date, current, and so the only thing I would encourage you is to either find the sticker or go about getting a
I
replacement sticker.
called the office to see what I need to do, so I'll get that done.
Yes,
And
and
get the sticker on it.
then that won't be an issue, and when it's not so cold.
Right,
it'll
and
be-
it's
it'll
used.
be ready to go. So yes, do we still need a motion to waive the fee, or can I just?
At this point, on the wait for to demonstrate that the tag has been put on the car.
Well, I would say if it's current though, then it's not in violation of our ordinance, right? I mean, does the ordinance specifically say the sticker, there has to be a current sticker displayed?
Well, for one, and two, we haven't taken any action on it yet, since she's here tonight. Dave's here, so I'm sure we can't abate it or tow it without commission approval, and if she's been ticketed for city. Clerk, it hasn't come up yet, so
So right now, we're just.
we haven't done anything yet, so.
Okay, so we're good for now.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming.
Does she have the paper registration or just the sticker?
You have the registration paper as well, or have you lost everything?
Oh, the whole envelope is somewhere in the abyss of my phone.
Everything's not where we know it's at.
Yeah.
But you will find it.
But yes, and I will go get a new copy of it, because it's paid for, I just,
Okay,
you know,
I know, yeah, I get it. Perfect. Just going to get that done, we'll be fine.
all right, that's all right.
Okay, then item D, I don't see Aaron anywhere.
We're gonna table till next time. I talked to Becky. She's got family things, so she's asked to be tabled till next time.
Okay.
So she's gonna try and make it, but she didn't know, so.
Okay. Old business, we have, well. Is this where you're saying, should we look at trying to schedule a meeting?
Yeah.
So. Did you want to do
Thank you. Sorry to jump in out of order. We did originally, I think, when we set guidelines for filling the vacant commissioner seat, talk about having a meeting tonight. I did send an email late today just to the candidates indicating that we'd have to schedule a special meeting. Obviously, with two people on Zoom, one sick, one here, I think it would be ideal if we maybe scheduled a meeting next week to get everybody healthy and back in the same room so we can do this. I do note that there's a number of candidates here in the gallery, so I thought maybe we took this opportunity to go ahead and schedule that. Then they'd be free to stay or leave as they wish. We do have a lot of business to discuss after we're done with that, so.
So, we're just gonna shoot something out there that, I mean, Monday, of course.
Monday's a holiday. Tuesday, we have to do it before Friday of next week. Monday is a holiday. The courthouse, city hall is closed, I believe, that day, although Lynette said she would be happy to come in and open this place up for everybody Monday evening. Tuesday, we do have city court. It will be done before 5 o'clock, so I don't think that's an issue. City hall will be open. This room will be nice and warmed up already by that time. So I don't know what the commissioner availability is for next week, but I think we need to set aside for maybe an hour. I don't think it'll take any longer than that.
I was about to say Wednesday, but that's Kevin's annual meeting as well. So, Brian, are you still on the road next week?
Yeah, I'll be gone.
So is there any, I mean, would you be able to phone in?
Yeah.
Okay. Dave, what's your schedule look like?
Tuesday, I have a meeting that I'd kind of like to go to, or I need to go to. The rest of the week, Wednesday is a FED meeting, which I think you mentioned. Thursday, Friday are open, Monday's open.
How about Thursday? That would be good, yeah.
What time? In the evening?
Yeah, we just wanted to do 5:35, just like every other city commission meeting.
We can do that. That's fine.
So all of you who are here, 5:35 on Thursday, the 19th.
Okay.
So it will be our special meeting, so we can fill the vacancy.
Okay, and I'll send an email out tomorrow morning. And then we'll pass around the notice or the special meeting request and get everybody notified.
Okay, moving on to new business. Consider approval of resolution 2023-01.
Yes, this goes back to the CDBG grant public hearing that we just had earlier in the meeting. So these are the items that follow that, and we'll just turn it on over to Garrett and probably address items A through D concurrently if that works.
Thank you. So we are considering resolution 2023-01. This is a resolution certifying legal authority to apply for the 2023 Kansas Small Cities Community Development Block Grant Program from the Kansas Department of Commerce and authorizing the mayor to sign and submit such an application. It basically states that the city of Hiawatha is a legal entity and eligible to apply for community development block grant funds, and then the amount of $600,000. And the city is going to dedicate $4,411,500. It says in cash, but I think what we'll talk about is going to be in a KDHE loan and subsequently move to USDA. So it will take a motion to apply for the community development block grant, the second phase of the sanitary sewer project that we have going. The second resolution, 2023-02. This is a resolution assuring the Kansas Department of Commerce that funds will be continually provided for the operation and maintenance of improvements to the sewer system to be financed with community development block grant funds. This is a document that we put into the Department of Commerce, and that we're not going to abandon the system. And there's a number in the preliminary engineering report that the Olson engineering firm has provided us at $13,200 annually that will maintain the improvements that we make. It's a bit of an arbitrary money. This figure is not placed in some sort of escrow account or audited. We just want to assure the Department of Commerce that we're going to continually maintain the sewer system if they fund it.
Then did you want to do the next two, or are we just?
I guess when I think you could do all four of them together in the past, and I think that's
Okay.
grants, we've just done all four and then done a motion to approve.
We have submitted 2 contracts for you, as I know some of you have been through this before, but one is contractor service for grant and loan application and environmental services. And so we placed all 4 of them that we have going all in the same contract. One is for the application and submission to the Department of Commerce for the Community Development Block Grant through the Department of Commerce. The second one is the contract to provide the city with adequate funds to complete a sanitary sewer improvements project with loan grant funds. So we're talking about the city retains a consultant for submittal of an application on behalf of the city for USDA Rural Utility Service RD apply. That will be our long-term 40-year financing that we will use, the USDA. USDA requires the city to have temporary financing, so we'll have to submit an application to KDHE for that temp financing. That is to the Kansas Water Pollution Control Revolving Loan Fund. Now, for both of those to be accepted and approved, we'll have to submit 2 separate environmentals to each agency. So we've already started to conduct the environmental assessment on behalf of the city. It's close to being done. All the letters have been sent to the applicable agencies and that will be consulting with us on there. It was sort of short term with the Department of Commerce this year, so we had to get it going. But that is the next part of the contract, is that you will retain us to complete the USDA and the KDHE environmental review and assessment. And then the terms are such. So would you like me to go ahead and read the amounts of them just so everybody can get a feel? Or
Yes, that'd be fine.
okay, so the payment of $89.50 would be due for the completion of the community development block grant application. That's the same fee that we charged the city 2 years ago and that we would charge any city. It's our standard fee. $2,500 would be due upon signing for the submission and preparation of USDA Rural Utility Services loan. $3,700 is due for the Kansas Department of Health and Environment. That's the Kansas Water Pollution Control loan application. And then one fee for $52.50 would be due upon the signing contract for the preparation of both the USDA and KDHE environmental review. The next, any questions? I'd be happy to answer questions about the contract.
Are there any questions, fellow commissioner?
I don't have any.
Okay, if not, then I'd like a motion to approve resolution 2023-01 and 2023-02. giving governmental services authority to apply for the 2023 CDBG grants from the Kansas Department of Commerce. Authorize the mayor to sign and submit such application and to approve the contract with the governmental assistance services and authority. And authorize the necessary signatures.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded to. Oh, what else?
So the CPDP, the city CDBG administrative services, yeah.
Yes.
One,
If not, and then to add to that, the motion to approve the contract for CDBG administrative services. And authorize the necessary signatures, all of that's all together. So Dave, did you want to amend your motion on that? Or is
yes,
that-
I'll second all that.
So moved and seconded to do all of that I just said. Is there any other discussion? If not, Lynette, if you could call for a vote, please.
Commissioner Mendorf,
Aye.
Commissioner Shepherd,
Aye.
Mayor Shamberg,
Aye. The motion passed. Whatever now means there on. Moving on to item E, consider approval of ordinance, or, I'm sorry, thank you very much for coming in. Yes, can you know it's the first meeting? It's, item E, consider approval of ordinance 2116.
So this ordinance just allows us essentially to cut the checks from the approved budget from 2022. This is done here at the end of the year, and the previous jurisdictions that I've been, it's been adopted with the budget. But it was one of those things that, you know, I think when you leave to the end of the year, sometimes things get messed, and so it just should have probably been done at last meeting, but we haven't had any checks yet, still waiting on this ordinance to be adopted, and no one's late or anything, so that's not a concern. This will allow us to get the checks sent out.
People would like to be paid.
Yes.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2116, which is an ordinance appropriating the amount set up in each fund in the budget for the calendar year 2023, providing for the payment of all claims and charges against the accounts provided for therein.
Well, second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve ordinance 2116. Is there any further discussion? If not, call for a vote, please.
Commissioner Shepherd,
Aye.
Commissioner Mendorf,
Aye.
Mayor Shamberg,
Aye. Motion. Item F, consider approval of executing a quick claim deed and authorize the necessary signatures. So Andy, you're up.
When the Highway 36 went south of Hiawatha, instead of going through town, the Department of Transportation deeded to Hiawatha property that was a rest stop. Right now, it's where the storage sheds are, just over by the Ford dealership, the intersection of like Oregon and Apache when they got up the wall. In 1997, the city sold that property to G&G Callaway and Incorporated, which was the entity that put up the storage sheds and started managing those. That was in May of 97. There was an error discovered in the original deed. So in December of 97, the city authorized the passage of a corrective deed to fix it. Somewhere in the meantime, Galloway had deeded the property back to the city. My guess is in an effort to fix the problem. That deed was filed subsequent to the city's corrective deed. So since 1997, Galloway has owned this property, run it, paid taxes on it. The city of Hiawatha is still showing some ownership interest in that property because of that error back in 1997. So Galloway selling the property now, and now there's a title requirement that the city execute this quick claim deed to relinquish any interest we may own, which in my opinion is very little and probably none. So it's just basically to clear the title on the property so that the new purchaser will have clear title to it. So that's, unless you have any questions, that's my recommendation would be to go ahead and authorize the execution of this deed so we can clear the title to the property.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute a quick claim deed and G&G Callaway Incorporated regarding the city's interest in the real property located at the intersection of Oregon Street and Apache Avenue for the purpose of confirming and supplementing a deed previously authorized by the city of Hiawatha on May 5th, 1997 and December 22nd of 1997.
Second,
Been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, I'd like to call for a vote.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed. Item G, consider approval of police department administrative job descriptions. Mickey, any clarification on that?
Yes, ma'am. What I currently have is I have Bart Moslin, our administrative assistant, who's very intelligent, work ethic, dependable. And I want to restructure just the job description of the police department administrative assistant to have the chief have an option to designate them as a supervisor, just so it can be documented for like a chain of command. And I also requested that the court clerk be titled as municipal court clerk / administrative assistant, because her main job is the court clerk. And it was just backwards. And the two job descriptions will also allow any chief to designate the administrative assistant to be a supervisor of her and officers, however needed for the day-to-day operations of the department. And that's basically what I'm trying to get down on paper.
So basically, you're cleaning things up.
Yes, trying to organize it and utilize an employee I have who's very helpful and can help us administratively improve our work product and get us to do more things that we need to get done.
So somebody keeping you on task.
As well, yes, she does. She does.
Is there a motion or is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the job description of the police administrative assistant supervisor of department operations and for the municipal court clerk, police administrative assistant.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, call for a vote, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Item H, consider approval of proposed fire department bylaws and authorize the necessary signatures. I guess since you're standing up, you're looking.
Yes, ma'am. So back in October, Lynette brought us a proposed bylaw change that was proposed back in 2010. So with all further discussion of the bylaw changes and what those proposals change are the limits of the fire chief, the assistant chief, and the membership. It also adds a process to do amendments to those bylaws. On discussion today, via emails with Andy, Lynette, Larry, and Becky, one of the changes that we were requesting or that was proposed was the fire chiefs live within 5 miles of the city limits. Which I'm going to circle back around to that here in a second, but the state statute, there is a state statute, I believe it's 1502, that states that a city appointed position has to live within 2 miles of the city limits. I don't have an issue with that, but it also goes on to state that that person, the city has also the option to appoint that position in that area as well, to that designated area.
Right.
So I would like to have this tabled, but I would also like to have the discussion of if the membership would comply with the state statute with the appointed position, with the commission consider changing those bylaws.
To change it towards 5.
To change it within what the state statute is. And the state statute reads a 2-mile radius of such city prior to his or her appointment, except that the city may hire non-resident expert employees. So that's the other option that's in the state statute. It doesn't put a limit to the mileage.
Right.
Is that,
It says,
Andy,
is
do
there
you-
anything you wanted to add?
do you
to that?
interpret that correct? Or am I interpreting that correctly?
So there's 2 statutes that are involved, 14 1501 kind of defines what appointed officers are. One of them is a fire chief, one of them is city attorney, city clerk. 14-1502 does state that no person shall be eligible unless he or she shall be a bona fide resident of the city within 2 miles. So it does say, except that the city may hire non-resident expert employees or appoint non-residents as a municipal judge or as law enforcement officers when deemed necessary by the Board of Commissioners. So I do interpret it a little bit differently, in that I think a municipal judge can be outside the 2, or law enforcement can be outside the 2 mile radius. City attorney, city clerk, fire chief, the other appointed officers listed there are not included in that. So I don't disagree with Patrick. I think there's some discussion that, he and I can have about it, especially if he's asking the issue we tabled tonight. I'll be happy to get with him and kind of discuss that a little bit.
I think that would be the smartest if we did table it, and then so we can talk and we can make sure we're where we need to be on that, so.
Thank you, appreciate it. I'd also note that in those bylaw changes, I don't know if you guys have a current copy and a proposed copy of it, but in the current copy, it has the membership to be a fireman within 5 miles of the city of Hiawatha. We are wanting to expand that to our district. So that is something else that we would like for you to consider as well when we bring it back. And also, and Andy, maybe you can help with this answer as well. The city limits, or the 2 mile radius, is that of the city hall? Is that of the city limits?
What's the city limits is what it is. And so what he's talking about is fire member. We've had a personnel policy in place. Each one of the positions in the fire department is defined, and that 5 mile radius is listed under each one of the members of the fire department. So if the commission does decide to accept members from the fire department from, I think Patrick talked about the areas that we serve, though, in addition to the bylaws change, we'll need to amend the personnel policy, which frankly needs to be amended because it's not compliant with the statute. So we're in compliance with the statute the way we're doing it, but the personnel policy needs to be compliant.
I mean, I'm never going to not want to do something that can allow us to get more people
Yes.
to help serve, especially if they're from the areas where you're going to serve anyway. But obviously we need to make sure everything
Right.
checks the right boxes and stuff. So yeah, we'll just table this for this time and then come back at our next meeting and
Sounds good.
clear that.
Thank you.
So. Brian or Dave, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I personally like the idea of the 2 mile radius for at least the chief. Seem like the further out you are, the longer your response time is going to be to get down to this fire station and get the equipment and go put the fire out. That's just kind of my opinion.
May I address that? And Dave, I understand your concern about that, especially the fire chief, but opening up to at least the membership that be within the district, the point was utilized that we do have a fireman on the north side of town. When we had that fire back in December, he was able to direct us where we needed to go, where we needed to put apparatus, where we needed personnel. So it was nice having that person outside the city limits near the fire to direct us where we needed to go, what we needed. So, but I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with your point of the 2 miles with the fire chief. I'm just solely bringing this to what was presented to me back in October.
Okay. Thank you.
Brian, anything else?
I'll just say it doesn't matter to me, whatever the boys that are doing the firefighting for free, if they want it, then I'm all for it. So whatever they think's best for the department, I will support.
Item I is consider approval of proposed aquatic park rate increases, and also goes with the item J, the proposed Fisher Center rate increases. Stacy, we talked a little bit before, and I didn't get a chance to talk to you because it was right up to the meeting started.
I would also like to recommend tabling these issues. I haven't had any time to sit down with our new city administrator, and Commissioner Shepherd also had some questions earlier today. So I want to be able to make sure that you guys are plenty informed or have the ability to discuss any things regarding those increases, so I'm happy tabling both of those.
Well, you just made my job easy.
I would like to ask that their table go to the first meeting in March, as I don't know that I'll be here the next.
In March.
March or
I mean,
April, February.
February, sorry.
I mean, you're just skipping. all that.
Okay, so we will just table that for the first meeting in February, that will give us a chance.
Hold on, we're gonna do it like-
You're in the basket. Okay, so now I move on to item 6, report from commission and staff. Brad?
I do not have anything specifically prepared for tonight. I would like to discuss some things with the city administrator before I bring anything back for the next meeting. Unless anybody has any questions for me, I really don't have anything.
No, just see you weren't here at the last meeting to get all the kudos we were offering up to you and your crew for being out at 6th Street in Miami and 30-degree below zero wind chill. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely one to remember, that's for sure. Those are always gonna be the ones you remember, so, but I do appreciate the kind words.
I talked to one of the neighbors, and he said, those guys are amazing. He said, and they're like, it's not bad, it's not cold. I was like. So anyway, thank you for that, and as quickly as you all moved to get it done, that was above and beyond. So you missed that last week, so I just brought it up.
All right, well, thank you.
Dominic, or is there anything else? I'm sorry, Brian or Dave, did you have anything?
Anything new with the evaporation equipment?
That is actually one of the items that I would like to discuss with our city administrator. I've been in discussion with our engineering firm, BG Consultants. And we still have not heard back from KDHE on the approval for that. And so we're just kind of stuck in limbo on that. So I need to discuss with our city administrator on how we move forward.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Brian, anything?
No.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, thank you.
Dominic, anything?
I don't have much this evening, but an update on our blowers. They're gonna give me an update this week about fixing the blowers that we had waited on parts, and CAS Construction is going to work on Kleppe Lift Station next week. That's all I have this evening, and tomorrow's a week at this, and you know, it's kind of bittersweet. You know, I miss Dave, but I appreciate what Larry, you know, he knighted me, and I'm going to do the best job I can. I love this town, and I'll do the best I can.
I appreciate that, and I know that Dave felt quite confident having you step in, so I love to see that seamless transition, so thank you for that, Dominic.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, any questions, Brian or Dave? Okay,
No.
All good.
thank you, Dominic. Herb, how about you?
Nothing, just
Nothing for you? You don't want to talk about our lovely meeting with the senator and. I'll save that for mine, I guess. Stacy, anything else?
I have one request. This coming Saturday is our city winter party. And in the past, the commission has been gracious enough to approve 3 one-day, one personal day certificates to use as prizes. So I'm requesting or asking if you guys would consider doing that again. We play some games, we have a great meal, play some games, hang out and offer some prizes through the night. So these personal days are usually the first to be grabbed. So if you are interested in doing that, I would be happy to take those.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve authorizing 3 single-day personal days off as prizes for the upcoming staff party on Saturday.
I'll second.
Somebody can't win all 3, can they?
No.
So it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, can we have a vote, please?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Anything else?
No, thank you.
I'm not gonna drag all the stuff we got going.
No,
All right. I won't do it. Dave, you have anything?
Subject to your questions, I don't have anything to add this evening.
Dave or Brian?
I'm good.
That was easy enough. Patrick? I'll come up again.
I have one thing, and that is to thank Herb and Sean for on their downtime. They've been able to maintenance some of the fire trucks for us. So thank you. Really appreciate it. You got it. That's all I got. I should have something for me.
Chief?
I don't have anything. The 2 cars we purchased recently will be on the street this week, hopefully, as long as Brian gets it taken care of. And that's all I have outside of welcome, Becky. Look forward to working with you. Thank you very much. That's all.
That's good. Lynette?
I don't have anything either except for second, Mickey, thank you and welcome. It's just gonna be a good time, and Larry, I appreciate everything you've done for us throughout the last several months that you're here, so. I was not on the stand, so. And you just want to hang out with us forever? Okay. You didn't have anything for me then? Okay.
Andy, anything else?
Nope.
Becky?
I'm just really excited to be here. Today's my first day and commission meeting night, so that's actually kind of exciting. Hopefully I'll be a little more prepared for the next commission meeting, but I've had a really great day, getting to know a few people a little bit better, and I met with everyone when I went around and did my interview, and so I'm just excited to work with everyone. I think we've got a really great team here, and just a really great community, so I think there's a lot of opportunity here that I'm excited to go after, so.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
As for me, I guess I've been jotting down things I want to say, and I'll probably forget half of them, most of them. I guess top of it is I appreciate the fact that I'm able to sit in this little seat. Never thought I was going to do this, and now here I am, and I'm looking forward to working with the city of Hiawatha and see how we can continue to build. Thank you for those of you who are interested in NTC for being here. I mean, I appreciate that just because it shows that you are serious about wanting to be part of this team. So thank you for being here. Larry, I can't say enough as well for having you I mean, it's just been like a few weeks. Your calming presence, your wisdom, the things that you helped me work through as well and to prepare for the seat is much appreciated. I still have the number. I may be reaching out later on, but the fact that you came in at a time where there was a little bit of chaos in the city and kind of brought some stability and some like a calming presence is invaluable. So thank you for that. And thanks Susan for allowing me to continue to come here and stay. So, couple other business items. Yeah, the commission will get a report from Chief Sheldon about meetings and calls and who's going on and all that stuff. I just wanted to comment that this last time, the report we got, there were 9 either meetings or calls that they had to go out on. And what popped in my mind, or what I saw right away is Ryan Shockley and Brody Jones were 8 of the 9 times when they were needed, they were there. So I would imagine they are probably not watching this, but if they are, and if not, please, Patrick, pass it on. And it's noticed, not that I'm discounting what everybody else does because, life happens, but it's appreciated when we have somebody with the volunteer fire department and when they're needed, and even more so when they're coming to the meetings, when you can help develop what you need to do as a team. So kudos to Brody and Brian. So final thing, I don't know, Larry, if you wanted to add into this as well, we did have a streetlight meeting with the lovely little streetlight we have that's not working. Randy Garber and Dennis Powell came up and we talked for, I don't know, a couple hours longer than we needed to. Larry had some excellent points about why we need the light there. Of course, as we know, nothing's going to move quickly. The next step that we're going on is we're going to look to get a safety study to see if that will help push things towards it. Yes, we do need a light, because as we well know, numbers right now, traffic studies show that there may not be large enough numbers that KDOT thinks we need one, but you add in teenage drivers and school buses, and so we're hoping the safety study will help with that. And we are going to continue going up the chain, meeting with people and seeing if we can get something worked out. Because I just don't relish the idea of not having that light and eventually losing the light on Iowa Street as well. So there's that. Is there anything else I need to add to that?
Hey, Becky, excuse me, sorry,
Yes.
I wanted to kind of chime in on that, just since that, oh, you won't be up there, dang it.
I feel like there might-
Just since that light has now not functioning correctly, and I think Mickey may be able to kind of vouch for it too, whenever you do go on emergency call in that direction, you don't have that stoppage of north and south of the possible red light. So we are, I mean, it takes a lot to get those people's attention that are going north and south, that now they are accustomed to that flashing yellow light. I mean, you notice that as well.
That is good information to have. And so the next, I mean, that will be what we'll include. We need all of that as well as we need citizens to let us know. And I know there are some people who think, oh, this is fine, but I was, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, but we need to hear more from people who still believe we need that light. The more support we can get, the better. So thank you for adding to that. I think that is all I have. Let's see, Brian.
I'm not gonna say a whole lot. I don't want Larry to get too big of a head. You pretty well built them up pretty good, but thank you, Larry, for everything you've done. And Becky, I look forward to working with, I look forward to working with both Beckys now. So let's go with that.
That'll work.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person. I'd like to welcome you, Becky, to Hiawatha, and looking forward to working with you. And excuse me. And Larry, thank you for everything you've done for the city. I know you extended your stay way longer than you ever imagined, and I appreciate that. You're away from home for a long time. I hope you get back and are able to fly your plane a little bit more. You taught me an awful lot during the time you've been here, and I appreciate that too. So I'm hoping I can get down there later in the week and thank you in person, but I don't want to get out and about too quickly after having COVID. So thank you again.
And the rest of us appreciate it.
And Larry, you're not actually on this list, but did you want anything else to say?
Madam Mayor, in fact, I did write a few facts. And I just wanted to note this is the last meeting. I think last year, some point in December, I said, this is probably my last meeting. It ended up being wrong. But I note that I started April 11th. And my last day here will be January 11th. And that will be 10 months, which is what I've been counting those. Mayor Collins had a number of projects he wanted me to work on. And as I shared with Becky Berger and you, Madam Mayor, that those projects are done, except for the one big massive one that still is on the table, which is the traffic signal. But I want to say thank you to the staff for all you've done. You've made my work very productive. I've been able to get a lot of my ideas about how we ought to run our organization presented, and I think that a good number of those have taken root. I believe that, you know, when a number of the staff have already been up and said, thank you. I can tell that my work has been appreciated. And I take a great deal of pride in making sure that, you know, at the end of the day, when I walk out the door, you know, I have buffed, as we used to say in Army OCS, you buff your way out the door to graduation. And buffing is cleaning the floor and shining it, waxing it, so that when the next group comes in, they've got a clean barracks to play with. And get dirty and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, I think in every spot that I've been, it's been, you work right up to 4:59 p.m. before you walk out the door. And so, you know, I know that, you know, it may not necessarily be 4:59, but it'll be 4:59 in my heart. Thank you for everybody. And I appreciate, you know, the way that people in the community have responded to the work that we've done. I know that the last couple of council commission meetings, I'm responsible for some financial pain, for which I will take credit. Because there are some things that, you know, as an interim, I can get away with pointing out some things that need to be done. And I want to congratulate the commission for recognizing the elements that we needed to deal with and approving those ordinances that change the water and sewer rates. Even though I know I'm not going to live with them, I know that at the end of the day, by the time we have to deal with the issues, particularly around, you know, the impacts related to the construction of the sewer plant, you know, those costs will help us in the near future address overall costs. And I wanted to point out, you know, how fabulously excited I am for Becky Berger to be the city administrator. Years I've watched her work, and when I first heard that she might be interested in this job, kind of reminded me as being a young buck going after the young lady that needed to be tied up. So that part worked, but you know, I get to leave her in charge, which is even better. So thank you. Does not say enough, but it's the two words that express my appreciation for all of you and for this community. Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn at 6:38?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Then moved in second. Call for vote, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Meeting adjourned.